Hey everybody, this is AYG's Alpha Team here with another video for the Division. This is going to be the video for my Predators of Mark build. Now I've been working on a Nomad build for the longest time, and for like 3 weeks now I just can't get the pieces. I just need one more to actually make it worthwhile. But in doing so, I ended up picking up enough Predators of Mark pieces to make a pretty decent build. So that's what we're going to be going over right now. I'll try and have that Nomad out as soon as I get this last piece, but until then, this is what we got, and this build is actually pretty devastating. It's a 4-piece Predators Mark with a 2-piece high end. The high ends are going to be the chest and the gloves. You can probably guess which ones those are. Now primarily this build is built around firearms, DPS, and a little bit of toughness, because all we're going to be doing is shooting people. There's nothing fancy about this. There's no other strategy except going out and shooting people in the face. But we're going to start right here with the chest piece. Vigorous chest piece, rolled for firearms, health on kill and health, ammo capacity as well. But you could actually roll out this health and kill for something else like enemy armor damage. But this is what we got right here. I kind of like the health on kill, that's why I stuck with it. All of our mods are going to be firearms and health mods because, like I said, we're going to be working on DPS and a little bit of toughness. And you also want to get as high as armor as you can on all of these pieces that you have. Next up is going to be the Predators Mark Mask. $9.99, almost max armor, only 2 points away. Rolled for firearms, enemy armor damage, and damage to elites. You can see all these Nomad masks I have. Like I said, I am working on that one, but that's what we got right now. Pretty good overall mask. Probably the best choices for this. I would normally say skill power for a major attribute, but since we're not relying on skill power at all, we don't really need it. Before I forget, set bonuses are right here. 2-part is 10% reload speed. 3-part is 8% damage increase to assault and SMGs, and then of course hit 10 shots without switching targets to make your target bleed for 50% of the damage already done by those bullets. The Predators Mark bread and butter, and you'll see in the gameplay that everyone's bleeding all the time that I'm shooting. It's ridiculous. Knee pads, this is the only piece that I have rolled for stamina and health. Now to me this is the ideal minor attributes that you want to get. Bleed, shock, and burn, you're going to be coming across these the most in PvP mainly. But if you can get all 3 of those, that would be good. And we're doing the stamina build just to give us a little bit more toughness so we can be a little bit more tanky with all the shooting we'll be doing. We're going to be running a lot of out in your face, no real outside strategy, just going out and killing them. And all of our performance mods are going to be pulse critical hit chance. That's going to be where we're going to get some of our best damage, especially from our assault rifle, since we're going to be rolling an assault rifle as well. Next up is backpack. Now usually I run a high-end backpack, but because we're not using any skill power and most of the talents for backpacks are based around skill power, we don't really need one for the high-end, so that's why we're going with the Predators Mark. Firearms, health, bleed resistance. I would prefer burn resistance on this, but bleed is really good and I had to roll it for firearms, so that's what we ended up with. Again, pulse critical hit chance, firearms health mod. That's what we're going with. Now the gloves, as you guessed, you probably guessed is that they're Savage gloves, firearms. Rolled for skill haste, critical hit chance, and what's that last one? Scroll down, you idiot. Health on kill. Now you could go with, I would personally go with assault rifle and SMG damage with the crit chance. You want to get that target out of cover for 7% for both your LVOAC, your assault rifle, whichever one you're using, and your SMG. Predators Mark holster, all 1250 and above for all of the stats. That's pretty good. Major attribute for health, of course, because like I said, we're going to be a little tanky. Now we got our health to around 350, which is good. Anything more is, I would consider, a little excessive, because if you can't last in a gunfight with 350 toughness, then you need to work on your aim, and I learned that the hard way. Weapons of choice are going to be my PP-19. I was using the self-preserve. I gave it a huge shot to try and see if it was going to be beneficial, and it was not. You just don't get enough actual heal back. for the amount that you're doing, and I have my crit chance super high, and it still wasn't giving me that much heal, so I abandoned it, and that's why I'm going with this other enhanced PP19. And Hurried, for my money, is the best talent for an SMG. You constantly have the jump on everyone with your reload. It just ends up working out. PP19 I'm going with has Brutal, Deadly, and Hurried. Your weapons of choice are really just up to you. I wanted to go for max crit chance just so I can get the most damage out of my weapons, which is why I'm running crit chance here, and then all my other mods are also crit chance. And with the LVOAC, it doesn't inherently come with critical hit chance, but with our Savage Gloves that are also rolled for crit chance, we get that out of there too. You're going to see a little bit of Navy MP5 in the videos too, but I actually prefer the PP19. Navy MP5 is rolled for crit damage and crit chance, of course, and Hurried. But yeah, the LVOAC, 22% enemy armor damage. Capable for the handling of the weapon, brutal for the headshots, prepared for the distance. So this is my counter to anything that's going to be far away. I'm going to end up using the LVOAC as opposed to the PP19. PP19 is my bread and butter though. And with the amount of crit chance it has, it's always hitting crits. You'll see in the gameplay that more than half of the shots I shoot are criticals, so super beneficial. And that's it for this. Let's go ahead and check out the character stats. Actually, yeah, I was flirting with the SOCOM MK20, but because the build is meant for assault rifles and SMGs, I didn't necessarily go with it. I did try it out though, and I need one with a better roll before I actually use it. Alright. So you can take a look at our overall stats. Critical hit chance with this PP19 is 45.5. That doesn't include the talent we're using and the Savage part of the Savage Gloves. Getting good crit damage and headshot. Reload speed is up 10%. Reload time is 2.4, but with that Hurried, we're going to get it down to 1 second pretty much every time we have to reload. Same with the Navy MP5 as well. Boost assault rifle damage. Boost to SMG damage. Damage to elites we got on a couple of rolls, so that was good. A little bit of health on kill, a little bit of enemy armor damage. These stats are really just universal. You can use them whenever you get the most out of them. PvP or PvE. Skill haste we don't really have to worry about because, like I said, we're not relying on our skills really that much at all. Max health is 235, which is not bad. Toughness is 350. We can thank that to all of our health rolls. Armor is over 32%, which is pretty good. Like I said, we did have to make a couple of compromises, but we still got it up pretty high. Bleed resistance is great. Burn resistance is good. Shock resistance is good. Like I said, you'll be coming across these a lot in PvP, so it's good to have these up. And the exploration is irrelevant. Now let's go over our abilities. For skills, we're using the Pulse with the Scrambler, and we're using the First Aid Defibrillator. Now the reason we're going with Defibrillator, because we are team players. I mean, you're going to be running point a lot of the time while you're playing, so you want to be able to back yourself up and your teammates. And you also get the cooldown pretty good. You could try Booster Shot. This is really just more of a judgment call. Go with what you want to go with. But for the Pulse, I prefer Scrambler, mainly because when other people are using pulses for critical hit chance and damage, it will actually block you from their boosts. So if you don't get pulsed, you don't have to deal with their boost to their weapons. So that's why we mainly go with it. You could go with Recon Pack just for the distance and the more crit chance, but because we're already procced for so much firearms, you really don't need much else. This is just more of a defensive move for me rather than offensive. Scrambler to me is going to be the best for most PvP interactions. Tactical Scanner also very good if you wanted to get a little bit of boosted damage, but we're going with Scrambler. Also going with our signature skill of Recovery Link, because why not just have more power? Next up is our talents. We're going with Shrapnel for that bleed that we're constantly going to get with the Predator's Mark. We're also going to be using One is None to get as much ammo out of each magazine as we can. Combat Medic to help heal ourselves and our allies because we'll be playing a lot of Last Stand. Critical Save because we will be getting shot a lot, as you'll see in the videos. We are always constantly in firearms exchanges. There are tons of things you can go with: triage here, steady hands, on the move, but this is just what we're going to use. This is what works for me, and it's what I prefer, especially with this build. And here's another look at it. Those Savage Gloves you'll see will come in handy. And in the gameplay you'll notice, let's just keep an eye on the hit damages. You'll see how much comes up yellow for crit chance. Alright, let's get into this gameplay. First tip is going to be always be putting bullets in faces. Always be shooting your enemies. Your whole build is based around the fact that you have a ton of firearms. Now if you look, you'll see them bleeding almost instantly every time. And you can see the amount of crit damage you got going. Your whole job is to be putting bullets in faces. Right here. Now in Last Stand, which is where most of our footage is going to be coming from, you'll get a lot of scenarios where you're going to have 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 2-on-2s. You're just always going to be in gunfights. And because of the style of gameplay we're going to have with this, we're always going to be looking for those gunfights. Always moving forward. Always looking for guys to shoot. Now the second tip I'm going to have for you is going to be make sure that you are always running point. Always be running point. You're the guy that people are going to be relying on. Your whole job is to shoot people. You're not going to be hanging back and waiting to clean up kills. You're not going to be running to get extra points so you can buy, you know, all the tactical boosts. Your whole job is to put people down. Your whole build is around firearms. Your whole build is around shooting. That's your only job. You're doing that. And with this firepower, turrets are usually never a problem. Same with Seekers, you can just take them out as soon as you can see them. This guy learns the hard way. That spawn captain is dumb. And he goes down. Now I'm going to let the rest of these videos play out so you can take a look at just the strategy we're using, just running and gunning. Take a look at how many shots we put down that are actually criticals, and take a look at the bleed that's always happening. The best parts about this build. I'll go ahead and let this play out, and I'll see you at the end.
Rogue agents have points multiplier active. Wiping the floor with them. Score one for us.
That's going to do it for this build video, guys. Predator's Mark is a great alternative to things like Alpha Bridge and Striker. It's super fun with the bleed and everything. Your critical hit chance is just going to be great. Go ahead and leave us a like and subscribe if you want to see more from RUGaming.com. Also, leave us a comment if you have any questions or you want to give us any feedback. Until then, go ahead. Game on.
Game on! Yeah, game on!